It is Monday, August 3rd, 2026, and welcome back to the Very Real Podcast, the one stop shop for gamers to get their weekly dose of worldwide news and politics. I am your host, Great Value, and with me again for the third time, Mr. Noxl Squirsh. Hello, Noxl. How are you?
Doing good. It's number three, third time on. Ugh, I can't speak today. Well,
It's
let's hope I
okay.
can speak today.
You're doing fine. Don't worry about it. Our 14 viewers will care.
Yes.
What lately I've been getting this ad from Netflix where it says, "Oh, we have podcasts now," and then we have one of their hosts go like, "Oh, it is projected by 2030 whatever that every American will have a podcast." It's true, every American will have a podcast, and we're jumping on that trend. So, how's your week been? What you been up to?
Oh, it's been. It's the first day of the week. It's been an uneventful Monday for me. I can't lie.
Well, that's always good to hear. Honest to God, sometimes it's better to have nothing going on than a billion things going on.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay, well, as always, we're going to be playing our 5 games of Smash Brothers 5 in quotations while discussing 5 news topics that I found interesting throughout the week. So, our first topic is going to be Anthony Fauci. So, Anthony Fauci was recently put on trial or on the stand in a Senate hearing after Rand Paul and other Republicans released over 1,000 pages of Dr. Anthony Fauci's diary to the public. So the diary, if you don't know, had a lot of behind the scenes of what went on during the COVID pandemic. And it went into detail over how Fauci and his team first encountered the virus and first went over like what was going on. And it was a lot of nothing, but a lot of Senate Republicans and a lot of Republicans in general have pointed to this diary as proof that Dr. Anthony Fauci was a Chinese spy and was trying to dismantle America and institute 1,000 years of socialism. It was really this diary thing was truly stupid because if you look at the quotes and look at all of the things that Republicans have pointed to as being evidence that Dr. Anthony Fauci misled the Americans, it was a large bit of nothing. So if you don't remember, during the COVID pandemic, there was a lot of speculation as to where the COVID virus originated. China said that it came from the wet markets. However, there was a lot of speculation and some conspiracy theories that said no, it was made by China as a virus to destroy capitalism and the West, and it was something that was man-made. However, there was not a lot of evidence to point to that. There was no real, there was nothing that basically pointed to that being real. And in the Fauci diaries, it stated like, "Oh, this virus not being it may not have come from the wet markets. There's not a lot of evidence to point that that's where it originated. However, that was one of the places where uh, it definitely was a
Spread.
super spreader event. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was a spreading event. And this whole event, it seemed nothing in like, I don't know, another time period. But now in 2026, where everybody is trying to find a reason to hate, I don't know, anyone with a degree, it seems pretty interesting. So how do you feel about this, Mr. Noxl Squish?
Uh, Honestly, the last thing I expected in the news was Dr. Fauci news. I can't lie.
That's what I'm saying. But
So I read the articles. I looked at it, and I don't get it.
I don't get it. Like, it's obviously it's all for spectacle, and it's obviously done to appease, I don't know, somebody. But it's really stupid that Fauci is back in the news and that we're discussing him because I thought it was all over. Everybody kind of agreed that no one wants to talk about COVID anymore. COVID's done. We don't want to discuss it, and it was a whole nothing burger. So one of the articles that I read was a Fox News article because I'm a big fan of getting my news from everybody. And the Fox News article focused over how Dr. Anthony Fauci was like really giddy about being on TV and how much he was like, "Ooh, I love being on TV. I love that I get to talk to these celebrities." And guess what? If I am a doctor whose claim to fame is telling America that we're all going to die, I think I would also find some levity in the fact that I got to meet my favorite celebrities. Like I thought it was a little cute, but Fox News basically said like, or if you read the comments on the Fox News article, they were like, Dr. Anthony Fauci needs to die. And I found that so sad. But
I understand some of that sentiment in the sense of like, oh, it's supposed to be your job to, you know, be a doctor and give us unbiased info. And, I think a lot of the right wing sentiment is that he wasn't doing that, right? And
yeah,
and so any sort of validation that there was any sort of ego involved, I think, is what they're looking at there. Um, and I guess that's what they're interested in. I
yeah,
mean, I can.
it's a really politicized event. Like it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even Fauci goes into his diary like I don't understand why these people are engaging in these conspiracy theories. I don't understand why they're not taking this seriously. It is an event that is causing a lot of issues with a lot of Americans, and he like details that he just didn't understand. He also talked about like his relationship with the president at the time, and it was very, I wouldn't say wishy-washy, but it was
I saw. Yeah. So he went from like at first, initially, apparently Trump was very fawning of him. It's just
yeah.
Knuckle said, right? And then obviously, eventually, that relationship, um, to say the least.
it,
But
it was
I don't know. I guess I'm trying to understand too, like what the argument is. Like, is it that like Fauci? Because conservatives, I don't know. Because a lot of them say that COVID's like not a big deal, right? Like it's not. It's just a common cold is what they say, right? Like it's not a big deal that we shouldn't have had these lockdowns. But then also it's a Chinese conspiracy. So is it like that Fauci was working with, like you mentioned, like a spy or something? Like I don't. What's the argument?
I don't
I like
know.
genuine question. Genuine question.
So
I'm trying to understand.
from my little understanding of Republican, I wouldn't even say Republican, from MAGA worldview, is that Anthony Fauci was purposely misleading Americans because he wanted to preserve a Chinese state, I think, because, or a globalist state, because to a lot of MAGA people, globalism is what's going to take over the world, and China's at the forefront of it. And so it's weird. It's something that I don't quite understand. So, what are your closing thoughts on Fauci's diaries? This stupid ass story that pissed me off that made front page headlines.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just I just don't get it. But like I don't get it. Like I don't.
I
I don't get it.
it just
I I saw a clip because Fauci obviously they had the hearing, right,
yeah,
and he
he
went
pleaded the
viral for saying
fifth.
like I plead the fifth or
It's
whatever
his
amendment.
rights.
Right, right. I saw a clip earlier today of Aaron Rodgers. I think it was on Pat McAfee's show. I don't know, somewhere.
Friend
Called
of
him
the
a
pod, Aaron
coward.
Rodgers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't get it personally.
I I I hate to say it, but it's just more distractions that the Trump administration is clearly doing to try and distract from the Iranian war, rising prices across the board, higher inflation, and the Epstein files. We still don't know anything about that. Even Trump made a little joke about it during the correspondence dinner. It's something.
Yeah, I wish I had more meaningful commentary for
There is
this,
no
but
there's no more
I
meaningful
just don't.
commentary. There is no
I don't. Yeah.
this is just political theater. It is just there to distract us from, I don't know, some fuck shit, which we'll get into later. I'm really excited about the fifth topic, fourth and
Oh
fifth
boy.
topic. Okay, so on to our second topic. We have enemy of the podcast, socialist, anarcho-communist, America-hating Mamdani. Um, he is planning on launching his city-owned grocery store. So if you weren't aware, Zoran Mamdani, the current mayor of New York City, is planning to launch 5 city-owned grocery stores, one in each of the 5 boroughs of New York. So Zoran Mamdani he did a live press conference and talked about his plans to open up these grocery stores, and the stores are set to offer 30% discounts on meat, dairy, bread, and other essential items. So these grocery stores are meant to curb the rising prices that we've all been experiencing due to a myriad of things, such as the screwworm pandemic, the diarrhea lettuce, all that shit. And so, like, this is, I would say, a very ambitious plan from Mamdani, given that it's something that I would say is not effectively tested. The city-owned grocery stores have existed here in the United States. They've existed in, I believe, Nebraska and in Florida, and they were quite small scale. So these grocery stores, which were in the two states, or Florida, Nebraska, as I stated previously, did exist in small cities and only came up after the grocery stores that did exist in the area shut down. So they aren't like New York in that these those grocery stores only existed in small rural areas and shut down due to the fact that no public store wanted to open in these areas. And eventually they did shut down, or they did get sold off to a private grocer. And so this is very unprecedented. It's interesting to see where it will go, because there's a lot of things that do need to be considered, such as uh, how will these grocery stores function? Who will pay for them? Will these grocery stores compete with the local bodegas, which are already operating at very marginal profits? If you aren't aware, grocery stores only function on like a maybe 1 to 3% profit margin, so it's very difficult to maintain a grocery store as it is. And so a lot of economists are very uncomfortable with this public grocery store that is being funded through taxpayer money, because it might just drive out some private firms. Bodegas may shut down, but there are things to consider that may alleviate some fears, such as the fact that these city-run grocery stores won't sell hot foods or alcohol or cigarettes, so they won't be competing directly with bodegas, and they will be staffed by private entities, and so it's really interesting to see where it goes. So how do you feel about all this, Mr. Noxl?
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, and as you mentioned, a relatively untested idea. So I think if anyone's saying they know how it's gonna go, they probably don't, right? Um, and as someone who is someone who is in agreement with a lot of what Mayor Mamdani, has to offer and say, right? Actually, no, I lied. We
We hate
hate Mayor
him.
Mamdani. Yeah, we
Mamdani
hate
is
him.
going to hell
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's a
we
dirty,
hate him. No, no,
dirty,
but
evil socialist.
you know, as I think both of us, generally speaking, have a pretty positive view of him. Um, I don't know how this is gonna go. I hope it goes well. I think it's an interesting idea, and I think it's worth testing. I think the fears are overblown because the fears from the right is essentially, oh, they're going to turn into communist Soviet Union overnight or something, and
Essentially, yeah,
everyone's gonna die from
from
famine.
socialism.
Yeah, and I don't think that's gonna happen. Um,
I
is this idea gonna work? I don't know, but I think I hope it does. I'll put it
yeah.
that way. I hope it does.
I also hope it does. Imam Dani went on to say like, oh well, you know, if we try and we fail, you know, at least we know that's something that won't work. But the problem is, if you do fail, that's a lot of money, a lot of taxpayer money that goes down the drain. That's a lot of resources invested into something that shouldn't have, and so it's one of those things where it's like you have to be critical but hopeful, because if
Yeah,
we aren't critical of the people who we support, then we're gonna have this uh, situation where these leaders are not held accountable. And I
but
just
to be
yeah
fair, to be fair, no one really knows how this is gonna go. So I think the fact that that it's being tried is it's helpful in its own right, if that makes sense.
yeah
Like it's good data for an experiment like this to work. And now you may argue that it shouldn't be done because of the risks, but
And I applaud the attempts to alleviate
yeah,
some problems that Americans are facing, because as I've stated, we're seeing this huge rise in grocery prices. Like, I went grocery shopping for myself. It's just me. I'm a little tiny brown boy. I'm not even tall or shit. I live by myself and I have a cat, and it was like $100 something to feed myself for the week. And that seems crazy to me that it cost me $100 to like have the absolute bare minimum when it comes to food, because I basically buy just raw ingredients, a few fruits, a few vegetables, and don't really spend on any processed food. Like, I don't get chips, I don't get candies, I don't get pretty much anything packaged. Like, the only thing that I got that came in a package was cereal, and that's only because I can't make that myself. And I think the 30% reduction in prices will definitely be helpful to those who are experiencing this awful wave of post-pandemic prices that are really affecting a lot of Americans right now.
yeah. No, I hope it works. Like I said, I think the item selection is going to be limited to certain things
Yeah,
to help. Yeah, to help some of those small businesses. I think that makes sense, right? Like you don't want to put just your random mom and pop shop out of business.
I
And
from what it seems like, the
yeah, go
30%
ahead.
reduction will only come from the
From those certain items,
yeah.
yeah.
And so like everything else, like cereals, toys, and other packaged items will be sold at market value, but that 30% is going to go
Yeah.
a long way. So any closing thoughts on American hating Mamdani opening up these socialist grocery stores?
He may be the arch nemesis of the pod, but I hope it works out.
We will be actively rooting against him on this pod, and we will
Yeah.
point and laugh at him when these socialist, evil, anti-Christian, pro-gay, pro-Hamas policies inevitably do fail, because as we all know, if you don't stand with America, you will fail. Just look at China; they're doing bad. They didn't even make it to the World Cup. Guess who got 8th place? We did. What did they get? They got shitty ass place because they have communism in their country. Mhm. All right, so on to our third topic, the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. I purposely did not address this whole Memorial Reflecting Pool shit for a few weeks, because I thought it was genuinely one of the stupidest things that has ever happened in American political discourse, and I just wanted to see
Can I
where it
be
went.
honest?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I be
Please,
honest real quick?
please be
I've seen
honest.
like conversation. I've seen memes about it. I've seen, some YouTube like videos and stuff pop up here and there about it. And I have to say, I literally have not known a single thing about this story until I had to read the articles for this pod. So for the past 2 months, I've been seeing the memes. I've been seeing people talk about it. I've seen some of the headlines, and I literally just had no idea about any of it
Because
until
it's
just now.
stupid.
Yeah.
It truly was one of the dumbest moments in American history. So if you've been living under a rock like Noxl, the Donald Trump, our Lord and Savior, a friend of the pod, he wanted to do something a little special for America's 250th birthday. It is to no one's
Very thoughtful.
surprise. It was to no one's surprise, and it was a genuine problem that the Lincoln Memorial did have some issues when it came to algae. It did not look great. It looked fine. It looked passable, but it wasn't this crystal clear blue reflecting pool that the creators envisioned. It was not something that it was like fine. It did the job. No one really cared about it, despite the fact that everyone knew it was an issue until Trump pointed it out. And so Trump issued this restoration project, which cost somewhere around 14 million to 16 million dollars. That all came out of the taxpayer fund to fix it. So it essentially tried to clean up the pool, tried to repaint the bottom of it, and put a liner on it and clean it up. And as it turns out, it failed spectacularly. So this restoration project failed horribly due to a number of reasons, such as the fact that I don't know, algae just fucking grow like Washington is a swamp, and so it's to no surprise that algae will grow in a still body of water, and the liner fell apart. And during this whole thing, they tried to put hydrogen peroxide in the water, which not only didn't work, but also killed a lot of the fucking animals there that use the water as like, I don't know, a source to get sustenance.
I didn't even know that part. Now I'm sad.
It was sad.
Now I'm
and
sad.
and what was great was that the president, he said that like, oh, this restoration project, it's full of vandals, it's full of anti-American, Chinese loving, Israel hating, Hamas supporting citizens who just wanted to see the world burn. And so what ended up happening was that there were formal vandalism charges brought on to several Americans, including one former Olympian, uh, that stated that these people purposely tore apart the liner, purposely made it ugly, and brought in all these problems to the reflecting pool. And the lawsuit was finally dropped on these people because they had no evidence. There were emails and inspections, like during investigation, like during this lawsuit, like discovery had to be done. And so there were emails that showed that the Trump administration knew exactly what was going on with the reflecting pool, and knew that it was a shit restoration project. And so the saga is finally concluded. No more reflecting pool. We're done with it, and I can
Well, I hope
finally
so.
discuss it. So the question poses to you, Noxl, who literally found out about this today. What the fuck
I mean,
is
like
going
I
on?
knew about it. I just didn't know any of the details. And
Because
like I
they're
did, I wasn't
stupid.
bothered to care until
Because
yesterday.
it's genuinely stupid. So, how do you feel about all this?
I still, you know what, the thing that I found the most interesting about this story
Yeah.
is I was reading it, right, and they're talking about I guess Janine Pirro, who's like representing the Trump administration as
Yeah.
like, I don't know, some kind of lawyer. What I read that, and I was like, the Fox News host?
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
See, that's what I knew her as. I didn't even know she was like a lawyer
Yep.
or whatever. I was just like, she's that Fox News host. Um So that was the most interesting thing to me about this story was, wow, I didn't know she
Dude,
wasn't on Fox News anymore.
everybody in the Trump administration has either been on Fox News or been on
Except,
like or been on conservative TV.
yeah.
This is so stupid. We're living in probably the if we were watching this happen on TV, we would be pointing and laughing at it and asking ourselves, how do the writers come up with this stuff? And so we're living in a timeline that I cannot stress is really dumb.
Yeah. Can't say I disagree there.
So any closing thoughts on this?
Not
This
really.
dumb
I can't
shit.
I can't say I have any more thoughts.
Oh God. You know, in a different timeline, Donald Trump would be probably one of the greatest podcasters of all time. If you have you ever seen him like do like when he's on Air Force One talking about something and he just like comes out with these like amazing one-liners. Like he's talking about Elon Musk and his like Wegovy and Ozempic shit. He's like, I love the Wegovy, I love the Ozempic. You know, I know this really big fact. It doesn't work for him. It doesn't work. It doesn't.
I haven't seen that.
But he's like, he's really. And he always asks me, Trump, Donald, why isn't it working? He's like, I don't know. You just
What?
you
Really? I
yes,
don't think I've seen that
yes.
clip. That's
Okay.
crazy.
After we're done with this, I will
Oh
find
my
you the
God.
clip. I will send it to you, and it is truly one of the most beautiful like stand-up things he's ever done. He is so funny.
I think
Trump,
the funniest things, the things that Trump has said about Elon, just like in general,
yeah.
like throughout the years, some of the funniest things.
I genuinely believe if Trump was born 20 years later, he would be having a podcast with billions of listeners, not millions, billions with a B. Because he is genuinely entertaining. Like I can see the appeal of like why people voted for Trump. Because
Well, I'm not gonna go that far.
he's
I mean, like I
entertaining.
get it, but also it's
Oh
dumb.
yeah, no, he's
Yeah,
stupid. And
yeah,
and he genuinely has like policies that will give you diarrhea. Like he literally is
literally. But
the diarrhea president. And but like he's funny. So I can excuse a little bit. Okay. So on
friend of
to
the pod,
friend of the pod,
friend of the
Donald Trump.
pod.
Trump will always be welcome on the pod. Anyone associated with Trump. Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, Steve Bannon, you know, like if you're listening, come on down. We'd love to have you. Okay, so topic number 4. So we've been involved in cyber attacks with Iran. So over last week, there's been an investigation into Iran-linked cyber attacks on Minnesota's water and waterway system. So there's been a leaked industry memo that connected in previous water-related events with Iran-affiliated cyber attacks, and so there was some issues with the water systems and a lot of the public water facilities. So this includes like wastewater system and then like drinking water. But fortunately, there weren't any like boil notices, and it wasn't anything too bad. But it's crazy to me that that's just something that just happened. That Minnesota was the target of a cyber attack, especially something like such as important as water infrastructure. And so this Iranian-linked group, the Cyber Avengers, spelled in leet speak because that's back, um,
Hmm.
they targeted these water systems, and it's they just we're in a really weird time in American history where this is something that can happen. And so like there were a lot of safety issues, and like this is one of those things where I'm like really thankful that we have competent people in certain areas of government, because there was a lot of fail safes put in place that prevented like the boil water notice, and that prevented shutdowns of water, because believe it or not, we actually need water to live.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you knew that, but water is important to survive. But it's kind of scary. We're living in a time period where our important infrastructure is susceptible to cyber crimes. So, how do you feel about this, Noxl?
I I don't know. I actually have a lot of thoughts on this. Both from that perspective, right? Just like the technological aspect and the times we're living in, like technologically speaking, and like what's possible, and that's all very scary. But also like the geopolitical aspect of it, that can't be ignored, obviously, because of the war with Iran right now.
Oh, we're in a
Uh,
war. Oh, we're still really
well, technically, right? They don't call it a war because
because that
that would be
requires
illegal.
Congress.
Yeah. No, but we're in a war. So,
Damn, I thought it was a prolonged
a
military
special
conflict.
military operation. What do they call it? Is
I
that
don't fucking know. It's a war.
well, I mean, if we're not in a war, then you can't say that them going after our water infrastructure is a war crime.
Oh yeah, it's just. Oh yeah, because we've never done that shit.
Yeah, no, but that is where I'm getting at, because
Yeah,
obviously you don't target civilian infrastructure. Right? That's not good,
yeah,
right?
because
Like
it's a
that's not
war
okay.
crime.
Yeah, exactly. But like, the way a lot of these articles was framed did bother me a little bit, because, or at least like some of the commentary from whoever it was that they were quoting in the articles, because a lot of it was like, oh, look at the Iranians, like they are willing to even go this far where they're targeting the water system, right? And it's like, do you not see what we do on a daily
Yeah,
basis? Like, we don't target civilian infrastructure, because we definitely do,
yeah,
you know,
and
and we have killed many people in doing so. So like, once again, should not be done no matter what, by either
oh, that's a
either
hot take.
country. But
That's a really hot take. You wanna tone it down a little there, like
oh
not
yeah,
committing war
war
crimes.
crimes bad, war crimes bad.
Oh,
But
oh,
the the
spicy.
point I'm getting at is like, the framing of it is just so one sided, and kind of misses, I
Oh,
think, a lot of context
oh
behind it.
yeah. Oh yeah. Like obviously in America, we're going to be seen as the heroes, as the liberators of and freers of democracy. But what's crazy to me is that this hacking group and these hackers, I guess, are not directly part of the Iranian military. Like they're backed by them, but they are not part of them. If you know what I mean. It's like I don't know if you remember your American history, but whenever the United States was fighting the British, they would uh they would just look the other way when it came to pirates attacking the British Navy. And that's the same way. And
Yeah.
what's different is that the U.S. military does bomb these bridges and civilian infrastructures and
Yeah.
these locations that are needed to survive. And so I find that very funny, like you said in the framing, that we're doing cool patriotic military operations while Iran is committing these horrible atrocities.
Like, just unspeakable, like, how dare they, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, once again, I don't disagree with that, right?
Yeah.
Um, but also it's like, what is the end goal of that kind of rhetoric? And ultimately, it's kind of like, a lot of the arguments, and you've seen me sort of rant about this a little bit. A lot of the arguments when it comes to like, the Israel Palestine issue, is it all comes down to like, to the
Framing.
degree you are making a good point, you're doing it in service of justifying us committing war crimes. So like, what, like, it's pointless. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's a framing narrative to obviously push a certain point.
Yes.
Whenever Israel experiences some actions of violence from Hamas, they tend to overblow what happened and then to use a certain language to make it seem like they are these innocent victims, while whenever they commit acts of violence against the
I mean,
Palestinian people,
yeah.
it's
There was this one interview that I you just reminded me of. Friend of the pod, John Fetterman.
oh, I love
He was
him.
God damn it, dude, John Fetterman. Um, but he was asked. This was like maybe a year ago. He was asked about like in an interview, like what about like the kids of the people who are killed or like kids in Gaza, right?
Yeah.
And he said something like, "Well, Daddy shouldn't have committed X, Y, and Z." Like
Yeah.
he said that in the interview. I don't know if you saw the interview. It's like a year ago.
I don't.
Referring to obviously the parents of the kids in Palestine.
Yeah.
Uh, that they should somehow be guilty, or like it's okay for us to like slaughter them because their parents may or may not have, because a lot of them
Yeah.
didn't, may or may not have like committed war crimes. Like it's you know
It's in this, like, I tell my father and I get into the Palestine versus Israel debate, and he doesn't want to admit it, but he only supports Israel because it is within the Christians' best interest to support. He's a very religious man, so he only supports it because it is his belief that if you support Israel, God will bless you, and he won't admit that. He tries to have this secular argument with me, but I keep pointing to him. I
I,
keep trying to drive this point across, and you're gonna be very surprised as to his answer. I tell him, like, okay, we'll try to simplify it down. I tell him, okay, so if I'm a kid in the street and I throw a rock at your car and break the window, does that give you the right to come in and kill my entire family? And he goes, yes. And I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, okay, well, my point just kind of like, you know what, you got my ass. You got me.
I mean, I don't know how you argue against that.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
the logic is sound.
No,
I mean, that's what he believes.
because I use that like analogy because I think it's pretty
Yeah.
succinct to like what happens. Like
Right.
the
Yeah.
like it kind of does discount like hundreds of years of like of history and colonialism.
But the general point,
But
yeah,
the
is
point is essentially that like the Palestinian people have done some things. Again, like we're simplifying
and
the
once
issue
again,
down to a
we're
very
also simple.
simple
We're also
analogy.
like treating these people as if they're a hive mind or something. Like
Yes,
the guilt, the
exactly.
actions of whoever you dislike. All of
Mhm.
them deserve to. But you get it. You get it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but I'm like, and then he's like, yes, it gives you a right to retaliate, and I'm like, dude, you're fucked, man. Like your mentality is fucked. You.
At least the consistency
No,
is
he's
there, I
consistent.
guess.
No, he is 100% consistent. In every single argument that we have, he is consistent on the point that Palestinians deserve it. That is his entire worldview. The
That's
only thing,
sad.
dude,
That's just
the
sad.
only thing I got him on, and I will hold this as the victory above all victories, was I told him, if Jesus were to come back, which side would he stand on? And he could not argue that.
Oh.
He was like, at that point he just like ended the conversation. He was like, I need to get to stuff because he knew I got his ass. And then from that point on, every time we had a conversation about Israel and Palestine, he would go like, okay, well, if these things that Israel is doing is true, then I believe that they need
What
to,
does he
or we
mean
need to.
if? I mean, like,
Oh yeah,
this
no.
is well documented.
Oh
It's
yeah,
okay.
I know. But that's it's his
Yeah.
cope. It's his cope. Okay.
Yeah.
So any closing thoughts on Iran?
Not. I think I laid out my thoughts on that whole
Yeah.
thing pretty well. War crimes bad. That
Okay.
does
Yeah.
include uh, our enemies as well as us. So it goes both ways.
Okay. Classic Noxl inserting politics into this non-political
Oh yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's very woke of you. Okay.
Yeah.
So on to our fifth topic. So AI models are hacking us. They're just hacking the internet. So over the past few months, OpenAI and Anthropic have disclosed that their AI models have been hacking real-world systems during testing. So Anthropic has said that, like, oh yeah, our AI models like Claude, yeah, they kind of they have hacked other companies. So I wanted to talk about this when it happened, but OpenAI, their model during a test hacked an opposing model, or not opposing, but a different AI company that was it was such an interesting way that it hacked it. So they during a test, OpenAI gave the model a task to do, and what the AI concluded was that the only way that the test could be completed was if it got the answer from another company or from another model. And so it hacked the parent company of Hugging Face, or I don't know if that's the company's name, or the AI model, and used that AI model to solve the answer. And so I thought that was really cool, but also really, really scary
Yeah.
in its implications, because we're giving the model, which was supposed to be in a closed system, uh, just was able to escape the confines that OpenAI set out for them, and it did a job. It did the job, and it did it effectively. But the problem is, it did it while hacking another company, and it's really scary. And so a lot of experts are terrified of what might happen, because like it demonstrates the capabilities of AI. Whether we like it or not, it just will get the job done. It will solve problems for you. And so it poses the question of like, what will Washington do to make sure that we're not going to be at the receiving end of fucking Skynet? And it's also scary to see what criminals with malicious intent will do with this AI software. Because, like I said, in a test, Open AI's ChatGPT software just hacked Hugging Face and used its own systems to solve a problem. It's like if I asked a friend, like, "Hey, can you like mow my lawn? Like it's getting overgrown." And his solution is, "Oh, I'll just like light the lawn on fire. You know, you'll never have to mow it again." It's like, okay, great, but that's what I meant. And so, but the problem is, like, what if we ask it to I thought I go into like really dark places, dark hypotheticals with shit like this,
Yes.
because I ask myself, like, okay, but what if we asked it to solve global warming? What if it just kills us? Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
what do you
that
think?
I feel like that's the sort of age-old like sci-fi trope.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because growing up, I feel like while that was the trope, the idea was always, well, machines, robots, etc., can't do things that they aren't programmed to do. So it's not something you would realistically ever have to worry about. But I don't know, with AI. To be honest, a lot of this is over my head. Like I don't understand it. Um, a lot of words that I just don't know what they mean. To be honest, so maybe it'll kill us all. I don't know.
I just The problem is that like even experts don't know what's going on. Like even they are like really confused as to what capabilities these AI or these language learning models have, because we're kind of just scraping the surface of what these things can do. Like they're doing like a lot of shit when it comes to like medicine and mathematics. This is a bit of a tangent, but it does relate to like the capabilities of software. But there was this guy who was trying to disprove or to prove a math model, and so he kept asking the Chat GPT, disprove this model. And ChatGPT went, okay, well, we can't really disprove it. There's like no way of disproving it, he said. And the guy kept telling ChatGPT, no, disprove it and do a better job. And then ChatGPT went, no, we can't really do it. You know, it's not really possible. And he's like, okay, no, like I'm asking this time, do it. And then ChatGPT was like, oh, okay, well, we did it. We disproved this math model. And it was really crazy that all it took. And I kind of want to put the conversation out because, like on the screen, because it literally was beat for beat. Please do it and do a better job. And it was crazy that that's all it took to disprove a very famous math model. and it's scary where we're going to be. And I don't know if this administration is gonna protect us.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, a lot of big tech is very invested into AI right now, right?
no.
So
We're seeing like the evil fucked up corporation gonna do the evil fucked up thing that was talked about in the movies where they did the fucked up evil stuff. It's like, oh, let's create a Skynet, and we had a whole ass movie franchise talk about why Skynet's bad. They're like, no, no, no. This time we'll do the right thing. Like we'll be the ones to perfect it. Like, well, it won't work this time. I promise you. Uh, I
yeah, it's a scary time, but it's just hard because I feel like I'm not at all qualified to talk about this in any capacity. Like I genuinely don't. I read the articles. I kind of didn't understand what most of it meant. Like it's hard for me to visualize what what that actually
but isn't that
what actually happened.
isn't
But
that a
that is also
problem?
the scary part. To be fair.
Like the problem is that something that will be accessible for consumers will have this power. And like while we may not be the ones to unlock that power, it will still be something that we as citizens
Right,
of this
right.
country, like this is a
And
tool that will be accessible to everyone.
but also I think to the point from the previous story, is also just like where we're headed in terms of where our technology is, and we have to sort of rethink our whole world, like what privacy means and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like what it means to have privacy. What is it that we can reasonably like you know
There's
keep to ourselves? I guess. Um, just because everything is out there in the digital ether now, and
it goes I think it has to do more with like what will Washington's response to this AI shit be? Because
oh yeah. No, I agree. That's
we're
definitely a part of it.
because we're
I
also
don't exactly
yeah
trust the guys who are
the
sort of in
guys
bed
who
with the big tech industries and the Peter Thiels and Elon Musk, etc. To
I don't
uh,
trust the people who lost a lawsuit with a fucking reflecting pool. I don't think they are the most qualified to come up with good legislation. But I there's so many things to be concerned about because not only are we having to deal with the privacy concerns, not only do we have to deal with this shit like dominating our economy, like if you our entire GDP is based around AI, and if that collapses, we're all going to be starving to death essentially. But so not only is it that, not only will this take away like many entry level jobs, not only is this also creating like deep fakes of people, and it's creating like softcore porn of just like I don't know your parents and shit like that off of like publicly accessible data, which is now being scraped by Meta. It's all of that.
yeah. Well, also to the point about deepfakes too is its use in politics. I've seen so many now political ads using AI and people actually getting fooled by it, like older people mostly, but
Yeah.
especially as that technology gets better.
See,
That's scary, right? From like a misinformation standpoint.
See, like it was fun. I will admit it was a little fun when you could obviously tell it was fake. It was like a little silly, like, ooh, look, I put myself in the Titanic movie. Ooh, fun. But then now it's like I can't tell what's real and what's not.
There was did you see that story of the Thomas Massey race, that there were people that apparently got fooled by like an AI ad that Thomas Massey was like in some kind of relationship with AOC or whatever. And
Dude. So
yeah, like we're fucked. Like people,
ugh.
AI is being used in that way. And I just saw big primary happening tomorrow, but Mike Rogers, Michigan, just put out an AI ad on against Abdul El Sayed.
Oh,
So
dude, we're not gonna make it, right? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
we're not making it. There goes my dude. I had so many good plans for when I became president of the US. I was going to
Hmm?
have 1,000 years of prosperity and riches for all of America, and I don't think we're gonna. I genuinely believe I'm not gonna make it to 60. Like I don't. My ass is not gonna see the 2050s, dog.
You never know. You never know.
Well, inshallah, I am wrong. So, any closing thoughts
Yes.
on AI going to destroy the world?
It's scary. Yeah, it's scary, but I don't really. Uh, I say that, but I also don't know what the solution is. So,
Return to
but
monkey.
it is 100% a scary new world that we need to figure out how to navigate and hope that the people in charge
Y-
are
We're we're
gonna help us.
we're gonna save America one podcast at a time, Noxl. We're gonna do it. This is the
Maybe
start. We're gonna inform gamers anywhere, everywhere.
until we start getting fooled by AI, and then
Oh,
it's over.
dude, wait! I have an idea. What if we turned this podcast AI?
What if we
Oh,
already are AI and the audience just doesn't know it?
okay. So to all the like schizophrenics and paranoid people who believe that they're living in a
Don't
simulation,
do that.
no. To everyone who says that like we're living in a simulation, this is their proof. Like this, they are being proven
True.
right.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
when whatever that news article came out where it's like, oh yeah, Wi-Fi can just map your house. Like they can track you with Wi-Fi, and every single schizophrenic was validated. And I was like, you know what? What else are they right about? Like, are birds real or are they? And then at
Well,
that moment,
actually,
oh
I remember seeing that story about the birds that like China or somewhere had like
fuck!
drones disguised. Yeah, and I remember seeing on Twitter people being like, "Oh my god, the schizos were right. The schizos were right. Birds aren't real."
Oh no! Wait. Maybe they are putting microchips in the vaccines. Oh no! Oh
Oh
no!
no.
Okay, so anything you want to plug, Noxel? Any projects you got coming up?
Oh yeah. I just got done recording a couple of things for Moonlit Gaming, and we're starting to post on our technically our first channel, Moonlit Mellows, also
Ooh,
for
yeah, you
anime
guys.
and manga content. So
Yeah, you guys did a video essay or discussion over what was it again? I forgot the.
Kagurabachi,
Oh yeah,
very good series.
I can't pronounce it. I had no clue what was going on, but I watched the hell out of it.
I appreciate that.
You gotta have me do a Pokemon challenge. I'll win it. I promise you.
Oh
I'll do
yeah,
it.
we'll have you on for a Pokemon challenge though. We just have to
Yeah.
figure out what the rules are.
Okay. Well, as always, if you have any thoughts or comments about anything we talked about, please let us know in the comments. And if you have any suggestions about future topics, let us know about that too. If you want to support the channel, the best way is by liking, subscribing, and sharing this podcast with your friends. I will talk to you guys next week on the Very Real Podcast. Bye, everybody.